Hello everyone and welcome to my October hobby update. And just a quick word before we get started. It is fair to say that I've painted more than usual this month, so don't get used to seeing this much of an update every month. But of course I will paint new stuff every month, at least that's the idea. Well, let's get started. So here's a pile of Savage Orcs. I think there's 30 of them. I did 36 this month, and here most of them are quite finished. And to go with these Savage Orcs, I repainted my red war boss. So here's how he turned out this far. As you can see from the picture, he's not done yet. None of the savages got their war paint yet. That's a project for November to experiment with the tattoos and war paint. You can also see on his arm that's sticking out there where the bones is put underneath his skin. I haven't done the skin there yet, and the leather straps holding the skull to his crotch, I guess, is not painted either, but that's coming. And here's just him from more angles, and you can see more stuff I haven't got around to paint yet, but I must say I am pretty happy with how the skin turned out and the different areas being different shades of green. And then I did my whate model to use for my Savage Orc Great Shaman, and this one was really fun to paint, although it took a very long time to do. Most of the inspiration for this came from Warboss Tay's painting tutorial of Warthog. I haven't really followed it. You can see I've done some different things with the staffs, and you can see here from the back the cloak is different, but I found it helpful to watch his tutorial and got some inspiration from it. So here are the almost done savages. They basically are done, except there's a few areas where I've just forgotten to paint a layer, and obviously the war paint is coming later. And here's them from another angle, and you can see how many there are. 36 models is not an easy task to paint in the amount of time I had. I thought not with the quality I wanted. You know, tabletop, they could have been done a lot faster, but I wanted to take my time and make sure I think they look good, because these are going to be the bulk of my army for quite some time, I think. And here's just a picture of the standard bearer. I've done the standard thing that everybody does, that almost everybody does, painted like GW with the white, red, orange and red on the standard, and I think it looks pretty good. But what I did do was I wanted to make something special, you know, with the standard bearer, because he's in the commander group and he will stand in the front rank all the time. So I made him a cat hat, as you can see here, and it's the pelt of the saber tusk that you can put on the iron blaster. So I just, cut that up, glued together some pieces of it, and painted it up, and now he's got a nice cat hat. Yeah, and here's the savages when I based them. You can't really tell in these pictures for some reason, but the grass is not the usual static grass. I mixed that with the dead grass, both GW products, just to give it more of a, a dried or almost burned feel, because I like the idea of these savages coming from a warmer place than the common orcs. So here you can see them from the side, and once again you can tell from some of the models, not all, but I think the greens, the different shades of green on their skin went pretty well. I'm not that happy about the bone color, but I think it's good enough, And from the other side, Yeah, and talking about the war paint and tattoos, I tried to do some war paint or tattoos free-handed on these unpainted common orcs arms, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, considering it was the first time trying it and the first time I painted something freehand. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with this look. I haven't seen that many doing these dots. The band with the triangles and the zigzag line is quite common, but I think it looks good, and I hopefully can make it look good as well. So we'll have to see if I'm skilled enough to do that. Yeah, and here's the shaman based and the warboss based, just to show that they're based, and they look very much more finished when they're based. But to me, they're not really finished yet because of the lack of tattoos. So next up, my trolls. You may have seen this picture before, and these are the trolls from the Battle for Skull Pass, and yeah, filling them like these, it doesn't look good. Everyone is throwing a stone at the same time, so I thought I'd try some conversion work, and that is not the thing I am used to doing. When I tried to repose these, it was the first time I ever used green stuff. So what I basically did is that I took a saw and sawed off their arms and put them together in other ways using green stuff and glue, and then gave them some Ogre Kingdom clubs, and I also wanted them to go well with the trolls I already have, and their weapons consists of bones more than stone clubs. So I took the savage orc spears that were made out of bone and tried to make them look kind of like hand weapons from here, and I think it turned out pretty alright. I also tried to make bellies on 3 of the trolls instead of having the bone and dwarven amulet thing hanging from beneath the skull they have just above their belly. And here I've started painting them up, and what I went for is scheme that's they're darker on the back and then brighter at the front, at their soft belly and stuff like that, and the scales be the darkest part. Here you can see them from the front. The bleached bone doesn't look that bright when you've sprayed them white, but here's the first demo troll I did to see if it was a good idea or not, if I used techniques that worked. So this is what he looks like from the back, and this is what he looks like from the front after the wash. And I thought it looked good enough, so I went with that. So here's the other ones. This is before washes, so they're very much brighter than the demo one. And here's from the back. And here you can see the really dark scales. I mixed chaos black and a green color to make it a off black greenish color, and I think it turned out pretty well. I'm happy with the result. So here are 3 of them washed, and they're actually not really done yet because after the washes I've just let them be because I had other things to paint for the tournament. But I think they work like this, but I probably will go and touch them up and fix what I think could be done better later. This is how they look so far. This is how they look from the back. Here's the other 3 from the front and from the back. And I'm pretty happy with how they all look in general now, because they're not as boring as, throwing the same dwarf-shaped stone at the same time. And I needed 1 more troll for my tournament list, so I painted up a stone troll in similar way. And I really thought that this bronze went well with the green and the bleached bone washed down. And really, with all my trolls, I got kind of a Nurgle feeling. They almost look like Nurgle trolls. Hopefully they're not going to look as much Nurgle after I've worked some colors up, because they are darker than they are supposed to right now, because I haven't highlighted anything up after the wash. So here's how he turned out, and I thought I really like the model, so I think the model looks good. My painting on it doesn't necessarily look as good, but yeah, really like this model. And here you can see I gave him yellow eyes and my usual mix of purple and pink on the lips, but that didn't even get a wash. I think it just some extra detail, and that was it. And here are to fill out my squig herd horde 3 squigs, and these are some various squigs I've got. The ones on either side are from the Battle of Skull Pass. There is one, the goblins in the command, the champion that holds a squig, so I took them off and tried making them some hair with green stuff. The second one from the left is from the Fnatic kit, maybe? I don't remember where I got him from. And the last one is the one that comes with Watsag, but I didn't want to put him on the base anyway, because I'm not gonna use Watsag, the Watsag model as Watsag probably ever. So, and I could use one more squig. I also made a base. For my rock lobber, because that's required for the tournament I'm going to. And this one is just really simple, just static grass on it. And here's my Doomdiver catapult, my scratch built one on a 60mm base with some stones and static grass. So in a previous video I had a little rant about the Mangler squigs and that they were hard to come by. Yeah, so I got them 1.5 days before I had to leave for the tournament. So I just painted these up as quickly as I could, and trying to keep them, not looking like I painted them up last night, which was almost the case. So this is how they are at the moment. They had base coats, wash and highlights on the skin and the teeth and the claws, and the rest is just painted with the base color, except the goblin in the mouth there, because I didn't have time. I really enjoyed doing the mushrooms on the base. They come with the Mangler Squig kit. Basically what I did is I just painted all of them bleached bone, and then I used a lot of washes to give them other colors. So like the leg or foot of the mushroom, whatever you say, I just gave some Agrax Earthshade and used many layers of other washes on the other mushrooms. And here's the other Mangler Squig, and you can see here these rounder green. It didn't turn out that well in these pictures, but they're kind of green with a little bit of brown in, and they look, like they're wet, so they look really nasty. Like how that turned out. And I can't wait to finish these Manglers. They were actually quite fun to paint, even though, there's a lot of detail on these models. There are not that many details you have to paint, because most of the details is, the texture of the skin and so on. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing this month. As you know, actually, I have been wanting to unpack my ogres and fix them up. Maybe make some saber tusks, convert some characters from the usual ogres and iron guts, with a little bit of green stuff, and bit bashing basically. But after the tournament I really felt like I wanted to play my high elves more also. So maybe I won't paint that much orc and goblins for November, and I'll paint more ogre kingdom and or high elves. So we'll just have to see about that. Thanks for tuning in to my hobby update. See you!